I'm Jasmine Moore.
I'm Jeremy Morris.
And I'm Tyler Mason, and we are Jjnt Hockey. We are a corporation we chose to incorporate because it allows for limited liability, which means we as owners are not personally responsible for debts and obligations to the company.
We are providing the Grand Strand area with an ice rink. We are going to offer public skating to anyone who wants to come in and skate around the rink for as long as they like, for a small fee. We were going to try to have hockey teams and leagues play in our rink, but for the sake of this project, we're just going to keep it to the public skating.
This venture allows for a great opportunity because there simply are no ice rinks anywhere near the area. The closest ones are in Wilmington, Charleston, and Columbia. Meanwhile, Florence has a roller rink. This means there is no direct competition. There is indirect competition, trying to compete with other tourist attractions that may take our potential customers away from us.
After the first few years of operation, we like to open up to hockey leagues and let teams play in our rinks, and even get the Coastal Club hockey team to play their games at our facility instead of up in Wilmington. After a few years of hopeful success, we like to expand around the southeastern United States and put facilities in places that don't have ice rinks, but have a good size market.
Myrtle Beach in the Grand Strand area is obviously a very tourism-driven place. An estimated 16.1 million tourists visited Myrtle Beach in 2013, and Norwood County has a population of right around 270,000 residents. A very high percentage of people that live in the Myrtle Beach area and that come visit are from northern states where hockey and skating is much more prominent, which should give a high demand. From 2000 to 2010, there was a 6% growth in the Myrtle Beach population solely from northern states. Being the tourist community that Myrtle Beach is, there is a very cyclical seasonality trend with an influx of people in the summer months and significantly less people in the winter. Luckily, hockey is a winter sport, and that can keep us afloat during those months. As mentioned, we hope to get hockey teams into our rinks as soon as possible, which will definitely bring in additional revenue alongside the public skating. To start out, we think we can definitely bring in around 200 people per day, which would be plenty to cover our costs, as we will show you in just a moment.
As mentioned, we think we can easily pull in 200 public skaters in about a 10-hour day, charging an $8 admission fee plus $5 for skate rentals gives us revenue of $13 per person. If someone has their own skates, they don't have to pay the $5 for rentals, but the likelihood of someone having their own skates down here or bringing them for vacation is slim to none. 200 per day at $13 per person brings in about $195,000 in a month, which is $2.34 million per year.
Expenses were the tough ones to figure out, but a majority of these were based off a little research we did seeing what the average cost of various business expenses were. Granted, these are just rough estimates. We took into account that our facility is going to be much bigger than the average business, so the expenses will be higher. There will be a small handful of part-time employees working for $8 an hour, and there will also be an ice foreman who specializes in maintaining the ice itself, working for a salary of about $30,000. We project that all our utility expenses for the year will be about $170,000. Divide that by 12 months puts us between $14,000 and $15,000 per month. For advertising, obviously we have to get our name out and our image, but won't have a whole lot of resources necessary to do that right off the bat. So we went with about $30,000 for the year, or $2,500 for the month. In summation, our total monthly expenses should be right around $14,618, or roughly $175,000 annually. Clearly, 3 college kids don't have the necessary capital to start a business such as this. Years down the road, however, the 3 of us may be able to come up with around $350,000 from all of our own savings and pull that in and invest it. With a solid business plan and a good sales pitch, we plan on asking a bank for about $700,000 for a loan, which would cover all the foreseen expenses we think we will have to open up. This money, plus the revenues generated, will cover the operating expenses, plus the purchase of the land and building, which we estimate will be right around $1 million. As mentioned, we think we can do it well enough in sales our first year to make these numbers look justified, and hopefully the banks will agree. Again, all these are only projections, and there could be a lot of unforeseen issues along the way, but we feel we have what it takes to stay in the black. Should we do well enough, additions to the facility, like a pro shop or another ice rink, allows us to keep growing. And then the conversation from there could turn to a second location and then some.